Hey guys, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Hope you guys are having a blessed day. Welcome to Wednesday night. Dr. Eric Naputi, I'm live. We've got every Wednesday night and every Friday morning we do an AMA, an Ask Me Anything. And usually Wednesday nights get pretty hot because I've been seeing patients all day. I started seeing patients this morning at the hospital, went and saw patients at my practice. Did virtuals and conversations all afternoon, and boy, do I have some crazy stories for all you guys. So good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Give me a thumbs up if you guys can see me and hear me, and let me know where in the world you're watching from. Now, I'll tell you, tonight I've got some really unique things that I want to share with everybody. We have got to get back to common sense in healthcare. How many of you would agree that common sense is not that common, but especially in healthcare? And look, I want to bring back some common sense solutions to some common problems that people have. I've got a list of questions that you guys sent to me. I'm going to cover a lot of those tonight. But wherever in the world you are, I want you to put in the chat where you're watching from. Give me a thumbs up. You can hear me. And then I want you to type your questions in. I want to get into this conversation. But before I get into the conversation tonight about your questions. By the way, if you guys want your questions answered publicly, just put them up there. If you want to say, hey, this is private, then I won't say your name and I won't put it up on the screen. But if you do have questions that you need to get answered, and I don't answer them on either a Wednesday night or a Friday morning, because remember, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Time, Fridays, 8 a.m. Central Time, then go to biolimitless.com. If you go to the top of the website, you'll actually see a little spot that says ask. You can type your questions in there. My team will send those to me, and we'll either do videos for those. Like we're putting out, 5-6 videos a day for all of you about your questions and answers and etc. Or I'll answer them here. That's where these came from. So, all right, let's get into this. But before I get into, the questions that you guys have, I want you to understand something. Getting sick people healthy and helping healthy people stay healthy, the process of it is not that difficult. The problem is that we've been so indoctrinated into thinking certain ways about what health is and what health isn't. I want to share that with you first. So this is probably the most profound conversation that we can have to start this conversation off, because I'm going to tell you right now, some of you are ready to hear this message. Most of you are not. And by the way, whatever you're dealing with, suffering from, whatever problems and ailments and pains that you have, I want you to let me know what those are so we can help work through those, because we can work through those. I've been a functional medicine doctor for over 20 years. I've helped hundreds of thousands of patients find the root cause of their problem, and I've helped them get to the root and fix it. And we've trained thousands of doctors across the planet to do the same. And I want to help you do that for you, because we know that self-care is the real healthcare. And the better you know how to take care of yourself, the better you're going to be. Unless you have to participate in a system that is insurance driven, that's system driven, that's government driven, that's not there to help you. Like, I'm sorry if I get so fired up about this, but I see people dying and suffering unnecessarily every damn day because the system got it wrong. And common sense can prevail, and common sense is breaking through, but like, it's not going to break through on the masses. Your insurance isn't going to change to common sense. Your doctors aren't going to change to common sense. Your hospitals aren't going to change to common sense. That's not their system. That's not their business model. That's not how they get paid. So don't expect that. Like, that would be like me getting disappointed when if I took my wife, if she was pregnant, which she's not, if I took my wife to the plumber to deliver our baby, I would not be disappointed if he couldn't deliver the baby, right? So going to your conventional doctor, your allopathic medical doctors, who, by the way, that's the third leading cause of death in America, is death from medicine. They are not going to help you be well. They're going to help you in emergency situations to get you stable, but they don't know anything about healing. And I want to teach you something about healing right now. And Denise, who's watching, and Joe, who's watching. Joe will talk about Raynaud's in a little bit. Billy, who's watching with colitis, and Tammy, who's dealing with cancer, Rick, who's got low back pain. Just stay tuned. We'll answer those. I promise we'll answer them. But I want to give you a concept first to understand, because this concept is what you need to know. Your disease and your symptoms you have, most commonly is your body telling you there's a problem. The symptoms, the diabetes, the high cholesterol, the high blood pressure, the chronic inflammation, those aren't the problem. That's part of the process of your body trying to heal. One of my mentors, amazing doctor, his name was Dr. George Goodhart. I mean, the guy came from all over the world to see George. I was blessed to study with him for a few years. And the things that I learned, but what I saw him do was so amazing. And George said, listen, there's one disease and one disease only. It's called cellular toxicity, toxemia. When your cells get toxic, you get sick. And if you don't know how to deal with that, you ultimately you get toxic, you get disease, then you get disease, then you die. Okay. So here's what I want you to understand. Whatever your symptom is, heart disease, cancer, diabetes, stroke, blood pressure, cholesterol, Raynaud's, high blood pressure, ADD, ADHD, whatever. It starts with some type of stress. A physical, chemical, or emotional stress is an insult on your body on a cellular level. And then what happens is that cellular stress, that stress that you have physically, chemically, or emotionally, triggers like a 7-step response. I want to go over the 7-step response with you. There's literally like 7 phases of disease. George taught me this. Dr. Goodhart. Phase 1, when you have stress, is you get what's called innervation. Innervation means your cells lose its energy. We talk about it as your cell voltage turns down. After your cellular voltage turns down, I don't know if you know this, but all the cells in your body vibrate at a frequency. You have a voltage in your body. We can measure the health of your heart through voltage, the health of your muscles through voltage, the health of your brain through voltage, your eyes, voltage. Everything is voltage. We measure your urine. We measure pH. That's a chemical measurement of voltage. You are an electrical being. That's why if you touch an electrical fence or something too electrical, it could stop your body, or it can restart your heart if it stops. We're electrical. We need electrical stimuli. We need a voltage. Well, what happens is when we get that stressor, our energy of our cells gets a ding. And if our body is not healthy enough to accommodate to that, to turn the voltage back up, now it goes down this process. It goes from lower energy. The second thing is called toxemia. So when your voltage goes down, then you become toxic. Okay. When you become toxic, your body becomes congested. Your liver gets congested, your lymph gets congested. At this point, by the way, you don't even get symptoms. You don't have any symptoms until like the 3rd step. Okay. So you get entropy, which is loss of energy. Voltage goes down. Then you get toxemia, increase in toxins. Things are stagnant. Things can't move. Your liver, your heart, your blood, your lymph, all that is stuck. It can't drain. And now you get into the 3rd step. Now that's irritation. Irritation is symptomatology. That's a lot of times when you wake up and go, hey, man, something's going on here. I'm a little tired. I don't feel as good as I used to. I feel okay. I feel okay sometimes, and I'm just going to deal with it. Like that's the 3rd step. And then if you don't do anything there, if the body's not healthy, then you go to the next step, step 4, that's inflammation. You see, we're told that the root cause of all disease is inflammation. See, we've now just been taught, we've known this for 50 years, but mainstream healthcare and medicine now says, wait a minute. Inflammation is not the cause. Something else caused the inflammation, because inflammation is a normal process in your body. Did you know that inflammation, when you sprain your ankle or your wrist or whatever, inflammation goes there, heat goes there, blood goes there. All that heat is blood pooling in an area. Why? What's blood? It's communication. It's cellular signaling. You got all these cells going to this area going, okay, we got a problem. They're assessing the problem. They're figuring out what to do. But if they figure out the problem with the inflammation, because that's cellular signaling, but then they go, hey, I need you to do this, but there's no voltage to do it, or there's no raw materials. Now we go to the next step. Chronic inflammation then leads to something called ulceration. Ulceration is step number 5. Ulceration is when the body tries to protect itself from the damage. A tumor is ulceration. Do you know that? Did you know that? Did you know that finally oncologists are saying, hey, we really shouldn't do a biopsy unless it's absolutely necessary? And the reason why is because if we've got a walled off, so you got all these cancer cells, and a tumor walls it off to protect it from going anywhere else in the body. If I stick a needle in that tumor and I pull it out, it's going to cause all kinds of tumor tissues and cells to aspirate and go all over the body. Oncologists are now saying that we shouldn't do those treatments. Holy cow. That's because they know that ulceration is protection. Ulcerative colitis, when you get that, that's a pocket of tissue in your bowels doing what? Trying to protect the underlying damage from the chronic inflammation, the irritation, and the toxemia. It's the toxins, guys. That's the problem. It's the toxins. You see, when the toxins all move through our body and move out because the voltage is high, like if the power's on in your generator, power's on in your house, you can flush the toilet. When the power's on in your car, you can drain the exhaust. When the power turns down in your body, now toxins build up. Then you get inflammation symptoms. Then you get ulcerations. Okay. Then the next step is when you get what's called induration. And that's like the itis on top of itis. That's the chronic inflammation that leads to the tissue dysfunction. Now you've had inflammation so long in the cells that now the tissues of the liver, the tissues of the muscles, the tissues of the brain, the tissues of the pancreas, the tissues of the liver, whatever the tissue is of the organ, now that organ's dysfunctioning. And now we got some big problems. We can still heal when we get to step 5 and 6, but man, it ain't easy. And do you want to know how long it takes? Do you want to know how long it takes most people when they get to step 5 or 6? When they get to step 5 or 6, it's been going on for years or decades with them. And now it's going to take you months to years to heal it. Do you know how long it really takes to truly detoxify and regenerate cells in the body? 12 to 18 months minimum. So for those of you that say, well, Dr. Eric, I took this Vita Vegemin and I don't feel any better, go somewhere else because this ain't for you. I have done a horrible job explaining to you that it ain't about putting faith in a pill. We do have to put the right energy in and do the right things. So once that step number 6 is done, now we have step number 7. That's degeneration. Degeneration is survival mode of the body. That's when the body literally starts sloughing off like layers of the intestines and you see it coming out in your bowels. And a lot of people confuse that. They confuse that, guys, with parasites. And your liver sloughs off and your intestines and your joints. That all does that. So listen, there's a 7-step process. But really what happens is when you're under stress and your body can't handle it, and I mean physical, chemical, or emotional stress, the first thing that happens is the voltage in your body turns down. Your cellular battery turns down. When it turns down like a dimmer switch, now the cells can't communicate. That's your biggest problem. Step number 1 in healing is getting the voltage to turn up. I've found that we need to get the voltage to turn up and we need to get the toxins out at the same time. That's in our functional medicine practices how we get the best results. So voltage goes down, toxins go up, we get congestion. And the third thing is we get disconnected because our dysbiosis, our brain gut connection is all jacked up. So I just need you to understand that because I'm going to be referring to that tonight with a lot of you with the questions that you got. Okay. So, hello, everybody who's all tuning in from all over the world. Hey, Katie, how are you? Great to see you. Denise, good to see you. Ann, how are you? Wilma, great to see you up in Alaska. Awesome. Cheryl, hey, in Colorado. Hope you're doing great. Joe, hey, hope you're good. Let me answer a couple of the questions that you guys have on the screen now. If you guys have questions, type them in about your health or anything, and then I'll answer those, okay? And then I'm going to go through a lot of these. A lot of them are going to be really pertinent for you to hear, okay? So let's talk about Joe. Joe says, hey, Doc, I got Raynaud's phenomenon. My fingers get white anytime it gets cold. I'll get, it really bugs me. What can I do to help with it? Okay, so Joe, did you know that Raynaud's, by the way, named after Dr. Raynaud, doctors do a great job naming like symptoms and groups of symptoms like or by their name, right? And so Dr. Raynaud saw this phenomenon happen. It used to be called sympathetic overload syndrome. Did you know that? Raynaud's used to be called sympathetic overload syndrome. What's that mean? Joe, here's what that means. Your problem's not in your hand. I know you've been told it's a circulation problem, but it's not. It's a neurological problem. There's 2 big components to your brain. You have a sympathetic and a parasympathetic. The sympathetic is the fight or flight, the go, go, go. That's the stress response, right? That's the run from the bear. That's the get up and go. That's the response that you're too high in that. The parasympathetic is the rest, relax, grow, develop, and heal. This is the brake pedal. This helps you chill out, relax, and your body do what it's supposed to. This is the gas, go, 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 go. Well, Raynaud's is always sympathetic overload if it's real Raynaud's. Now, I will tell you, and there's videos on our website that literally shows us doing treatments before and after with people, and you see their fingers are white. We do the proper stress relieving treatment to it, and the circulation comes back. So, Joe, I'm going to tell you the fastest way to deal with Raynaud's is to get your vagus nerve to be working. So there's a nerve at the base of the skull that comes down through the front of the neck, controls all the organs in the body, but also controls a couple branches of the circulatory vessels in the fingers. In our practices, we do physical, chemical, and neuroemotional health, right? When you're sick, all three are bad. So it's not just about supplements and medications. It's not just about, physical medicine or physical therapy, joint injections, chiropractic, PRP, muscle strength, or it's not just about emotional balance. It's all three of those. And if you have a stressor, physical, chemical, or emotional stressor, Joe, and your body turns its signaling down, that's Raynaud's. So there are things you can do physically. Like, here's what I'll tell you. We've had great results with patients getting, usually they have a lot of impingement and entrapment in their neck. Joe, if you go and get some cervical adjusting, if you need that, the right kind of chiropractic work or physical therapy or osteopathic manipulations can fix that almost instantly. In fact, I got people coming in our practice all the time. Their hands are numb. Their fingers are white. We do a manipulation. We put a little electrical therapy in there to get the charge to go back up. Why? Because the body's a voltage, supposed to have a higher voltage. We put that voltage back in the body. Guess what happens? The circulation comes back. We break up that pattern enough, give the body the right energy, whether it's electrical energy, whether it's, I put every single patient who has Raynaud's, Joe, on a formula called Cell Signal. Cell Signal is designed to increase voltage in the body. I mean, that's what it does. It opens up the methylation pathways, which is like the biggest conversation on social media now. But this actually helps open up the methylation pathways. It has stoppers in there so you don't over methylate, and it helps the body shift from a sugar burn to a fat burn. It's got BHB in it, so it shifts your body into ketosis. And that by itself can increase voltage and lower inflammation at the same time. It literally deals with step 1 and step 3 at the same time. And step 2 and step 4 at the same time. So Joe, I would look into those things as potential helps for Raynaud. I'm telling you, it's really something you could do. Go find a good chiropractor, find a good osteopath in your region, or let me know what part of the world you're in. I'll try to help you find one. Chiropractic work, therapy work on your neck, and doing what's called ARP wave therapy, some electrical, like put your hands in a little bucket of water, we put an electrode here, and we run a current through here, and it improves circulation. Raynaud's is actually pretty easy to help with. Okay. So Joe, hopefully that helps, brother. Hope that helps. You guys have questions, put them in the chat and I'll answer them. Okay. Okay. This is from Katie. Hey, Katie, hope you're doing well. Katie says, hey, Dr. Eric, thank you for all the information, education you apply in our daily lives. What test do you and your practice do to find out imbalances in your body? Okay, this is good. All right, test, not guess. Now listen, this is important. So important. Because if you're looking through, like, this is what you want to know, the secret of what functional medicine really is. By the way, we were practicing functional medicine before that term even was invented or used regularly. It's all about finding the cause of the problem. Cause-based care. Cause-based care. That's it. Cause-based care. That's functional medicine, or at least it should be. Okay. Not chasing symptoms, going after root cause physiological issues. So the first thing I do, let's talk about chemical. Okay. So I run a genetic test in my practices. By the way, I told you guys, we did our genetic testing. We redid the app so that it's more user-friendly. I added some more testing to it. We added some more simpler understanding of results. That literally is done and released. You're going to be able to, through the BioLimitless website, purchase the this right here. This is the updated DNA Discovery Wellness Kit. This is literally a spit test. All you do, you're gonna get this little box in the mail, and all you're gonna do, you're gonna get this little tube, and you're gonna spit in it. It's saliva, okay? And you're gonna send this back to our lab. There's only one lab in the entire world that we use for this. We literally send our results to Europe, because by the way, if I did this in the US, it'd cost you about $2,500, and you'd have to have a medical doctor and a geneticist read it to you. We actually have a phenomenal deal where we are currently doing this test. By the way, it measures 800,000 data points, gives you a roadmap of you. that test right now, it's 900 USD. By the way, one of the best tests you're ever going to do. You're going to learn more from this test than you will in probably 20 years combined of all the other tests you've done, because this tells you, let me show you what this tells you. You're going to get an app with this. And your app is going to give you the results that you've got. And I'm going to try to show you this on, it's not the easiest to show here, I know. But if you look at this, here's your DNA results. And you're going to get this. If you go down here to the results aspect, you can look at DNA or epigenetics. I'm going to go on my DNA, and then I can scroll through here and look at all these different categories, right? Injury risk, kidney health, sensitivities, liver health, lung health, excuse me, mental health risk. And if I want to know more about it, for me, I'm going to click this link and go, oh, wow. Okay, so look, my addiction genes are normal. My caffeine and focus is a problem. I mean, I can go through and see all this. And if I want to know more about it, like here's the gene that was measured. Here's what it means when I look at it. I promise I'll do a better job doing some videos of this for you guys. So it tells you what to do, what it means. Here's the science part. Here's your action steps that you take, all based off of your own DNA. And you learn everything about yourself. What if there was a way that you could learn how you should exercise, how you should rest, what foods are best for you, what supplements are best because of receptor deficiencies, what risk you have of injuries? Like if you look at this and you really understand this, it's powerful. Like if I go here and I look under physical, if I go under the physical component, it tells me like how my body responds. What are the best times of day for me to work out? How does exercise affect my weight? Should I exercise fasted or fed? Does my body have good potential for lean body mass? I mean, it tells me my stamina, my VO2 max, I mean, all kinds of things, percentages like of what it could be. All right. It's really powerful. And then this gives us action steps. It's really cool because it also tells you like supplement wise, what supplements are going to be best for you based off of your receptor sites in your body from a genetic standpoint. And then again, you can click on it and look like, and it tells you everything about it. What's benefiting? How's it benefiting? What should you do? Why and how? This is all about you. This is you. So Katie, I tell people to start with that. All right. Now I'm going to tell you, I'm getting ready to do something really unique and special for this. Really unique and special. We're really blessed that we've made some strategic changes in the way that we do business. We're going to be able to make things more convenient, more effective, and more, let's call it affordable. Okay. Because it's affordable now. I'm going to tell you it's affordable now. It's a value-based thing. Most people spend more money on Starbucks and sugar and more in a month than they do on, some of these testing. So first of all, we run a genetic profile. That's number one. It takes about 3.5 to 4 weeks to get that result back. It used to take up to 6 weeks. This is an 800,000 data point test, and the results come back to you on your app. Okay. Then what we do is I run a brain exam. We run something called heart rate variability. Heart rate variability measures, well, let me see if I have it. Yes. Look, heart rate variability measures this. It measures your sympathetic nervous system versus your parasympathetic. Here's your gas pedal. Here's your brake pedal. Okay. And so if it's out of balance, and most people are too high with this sympathetic and too low with the parasympathetic, that's why their body has symptoms. That's why their body can't heal. It's not because they're deficient in vitamin B6. It's not because they need more vitamin C typically. It's because the nervous system that organizes everything, the voltage in the cells that's part of the nervous system is down. So if this is high, then what happens is we can get all these symptoms. Look at all these symptoms. Do you know anyone who's suffering from any of these symptoms or any of these diseases? Well, a lot of it starts in the brain. And so once we find those imbalances there, we run a simple HRV test. It takes 7 to 10 minutes to run that test. Now we know what the brain, now we know the DNA, and now we know the nervous system. Oh yeah, we're ready to rock. Then we're going to go and we're going to look at your chemistry. I'm going to do a urine sample to look at your gut bacteria, your pH levels, your absorbability, what your body's not digesting. Did you know that you can tell from your urine how your body's digesting fats, carbs, and proteins? Yep. And what deficiencies and toxicities you might have? Yep. And so we do a simple urine test. That urine test, like it costs like $40 to run, and it tells you so much about you. So we do that. Then what we do is we do a full blood panel. And I'm a real big fan of looking at vitamins, minerals, nutrients. I look at your hormones. We look at your inflammatory markers. I look at your CD4, CD8 levels. That's your killer T cells, your helper T cells. We look at your metabolic function, not just in your body, but in your brain. And yes, we measure the organs, the thyroid, the hormones, but I mean, like, we really measure it. We do the full thyroid panel. We do the full hormone panel. We look at all the things. We don't just do what your doctor does every year and runs your basic comprehensive metabolic to see what medications they should or shouldn't prescribe for you. That's a waste of time. I don't even know why people go to their general practitioners anymore. I had a woman today tell me, she's like, look, doc, I went to my GP because I get an annual physical. My insurance pays for it. I get a discount at work if I go. But the doctor literally spent 30 minutes trying to convince me to get a mammogram, get a colonoscopy, get a flu shot, and a COVID shot. She's like, what do you even do? You know, you're just pimping out other stuff. So we run those tests. By the way, in the blood, I also look for primitive pathogens, things like Epstein-Barr virus, cytomegalovirus virus. We look for, like, Bordella and spirochetes and Lyme disease, all those things that are really the root cause of your problem. Okay. That's what's causing your issues to be there. And then we do, we take a finger prick of your blood. We look under the microscope. We do what's called dark field examination, where we look for parasites, candida yeast, fungus, overgrowth of mold, toxicities, mycotoxins, all those kinds of things. We look for mycotoxins in the urine as well. Mycotoxins are the byproducts, the toxic byproducts of the mold that's in our body from the food we eat and the air we breathe and the environment we live in. And then we look at the physical body. So we structure precedes function. How many of you know that, like, if your car's out of alignment, your gas mileage is going to be off, your tires are going to wear, you're going to have a problem with something. So we look at that. We measure x-rays. Okay. We do cervical x-rays. Your neck's supposed to have a certain curve. Your back's supposed to have a certain curve. Your spine's supposed to be a certain way. If your head's too far forward, that tells us certain issues. I mean, there's so many things that your structural body and physical body tells us. I just did a couple videos you guys are going to get a chance to see that talks about, like, how to read your body. Okay. Like, literally, like, how your eyes look. We can tell by looking at your eyes what's going on with your health, what your face looks like, how the bags under your eyes are, your tongue, what it looks like, your fingernails, your hairline. All these things are your body's telling you what's wrong. You just don't know how to read it. We do. And so we run all those tests so that we can read you. That's functional medicine and functional neuro. And it's also physical medicine all in one. It's a one-stop shop for all things. I always tell my patients, we don't deliver babies. We don't do surgery. Everything else we can handle for you, right? So those are really the basic assessments that we run. And sometimes we can go deeper if we need to. But here's what I do with all my patients. I do not accept the patient unless they say, doc, I'm committed to 12 to 18 months of care. Okay. People come see me from all over the world. And unless they say, I am committed to 12 to 18 months of care, don't go somewhere else. You're wasting your time, your energy, your efforts, because all I want is results. I want you off your meds. I want you to reach your goals, but I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm not responsible for it. You are. And so we put a plan together. We test, we put a plan together. We treat for 90 days. Every 90 days, I retest certain areas of those labs that were off. We don't retest everything. We look at the markers that were off. Okay. And then we course correct along the way. That's how you get better. And most of my patients come to see me when they're in a crisis phase. They've got diseases. They've got, degeneration. They've got chronic whatever. And it's going to take them 12 to 18 months to reverse that process, to clear out all the clutter. And then we'll see them, maybe once a quarter or twice a year, just to maintain their health. It's a pretty simple process. So that's what we do. And it's pretty awesome. People love it. And we explain things to you. We give you a written plan. We try to give you the most common sense, action steps that you can take. Let me just tell you this. Some people, and I'm cool with this, some people just say, tell me what to do. As long as you'll do it, I'll tell you what to do. What I've learned is the more you understand why to do something, the how to do it becomes a lot easier. So if I want you to do something for X, Y, and Z duration, and here's why, then you're going to do it, And so that's, Katie, that's how we do a lot of the things here. All right. So let me, hopefully that helps. Let me answer a question here that I got. This one came in. Okay. Let's talk about this one, because this one's come in multiple times. Hey, Dr. Eric, I hope you're doing well. Love the information that you're giving. Love the product so far. But listen, I've been dealing with constipation since the birth of my first child 22 years ago. I don't have a bowel movement, but every 4 to 5 days, I heard you on a live say that this is a problem. I've tried every laxative, every diuretic. I've tried all kinds of pills, potions, etc., and nothing seems to work. Can you help me with this? All right. Well, first of all, let me tell you something that let me make it simple. If you're not having at least one bowel movement a day, you're not healthy. There's no way that you can. Toxemia builds up. Like your body gets toxic. That is the cause of almost all of your problems is toxemia of something. And your body literally gets the crap out through your bowels. And if your bowels aren't moving, if you're not having at least 1 to 3 bowel movements a day, we have a problem. And most people, real simple, can fix that by drinking more water, okay, and eating more fiber. So you know that whole idea, like an apple a day keeps the doctor away? You know why? Because apples have a lot of fiber. 1 or 2 apples a day, a lot of times will keep you moving and grooving. You're not drinking enough water. If you're not drinking a 6 to 8 ounce glass of water for like every hour to 2 hours that you're awake, you're probably not hydrating properly. Okay. And by the way, you won't see me drinking a lot of water when I'm eating my meals because that doesn't allow your food to digest. I might have 1 glass just to keep things moving down, but I'm not drinking a lot of fluids at my meals. So let me share with you. Okay. I printed this off. Okay. I'm going to share with you a couple things about the osmolarity protocols that we recommend. And I did a video on this earlier today because of this conversation. My team's going to post it sometime either this week or next. And and I'll also I have the osmolarity protocol there for you. Okay. You can also go to bioluminous.com and find this. But if you are constipated, do this. I'm going to give you a couple options. The first drink that it's a tonic that we create. Write this down and remember this and share this with your friends. This is what I call the BioLimitless Gut Tonic. The BioLimitless Gut Tonic, okay? The whole purpose of it is to hydrate the colon and stimulate peristalsis naturally. That's the movement of fecal matter through your body. So number one, what I want you to get, 16 ounces, approximately 16 ounces of fluid, filtered or mineral water, ideally. Go get some organic salt and use like half a teaspoon of organic salt. Put that in there. Baja Gold, Celtic salt, whatever, Icelandic salt, put it in there, stir it up. Okay. Preferably warm water. Okay. But any water is fine. Okay. 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. Okay. 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. And for flavor, if you want, do a half a teaspoon of raw honey or organic maple syrup. Drink it down. And I'm going to tell you, do this first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. Just move around a little bit after that or stretch. Within 20 to 30 minutes, things are moving and grooving. If not, you're going to have a nice bowel movement later on that day. Okay. The second is what I call the BioLimitless morning gut flush. That's like, we got to get it out, baby. Okay. And here's what you do. The whole idea behind this is to release the bile, release the bowels, etc. So 8 ounces of warm water, a half a squeeze of lemon, a pinch of sea salt. All right. And then 1 teaspoon of magnesium citrate powder. All right. Magnesium citrate, we call it that because magnesium citrate sounds a lot like magnesium shit straight through a screen door. Okay. That's what that kind of magnesium does. All right. So if you want water to get into your bowels, usually magnesium citrate's the answer for that. That's a powerful, like mover in the morning. And then another one, like you guys have seen me talk about this. There's a reason why I tell people to use the Detox Pro Plus in the morning. Start with this, okay? So this is called BioLimitless Living Water. Kind of a glare on there. There you go. BioLimitless Living Water. Take a screenshot of that, all right? So what you do is you get 8 ounces of water. Warm is best, okay? Not hot, but warm. You put 2 droppers full of the Detox Pro Plus in the water. It's got over 80 plus minerals in it. Shilajit, folic acid, humic acid. This will get the bowels moving, help with osmolarity. You do a squeeze of lemon or key lime. All right. And then, a pinch to a fourth of a teaspoon of organic salt and drink it down. All right. That will help you. That's this formula that will help your bowels move. All right. So I would start with those. There are some other things that we can do. We can, you got to hydrate. That's the main thing. So if you'll just do that, if that doesn't get your bowels moving, and I want you to be regimented with it, because here's what I tell people: do those drinks once or twice a day, do it pretty consistently for like, 3 to 4 weeks. Why? Because once we get things moving, it stays moving. All right. Something in motion stays in motion. It's not like just do it once and it opens up. Your pattern is, we talked about the 7 phases that happens. Like if your bowels are stuck, you're past phase 5 and you're into phase 6. All right. At any age. And that will lead to serious problems, toxicity throughout the body. And the fact that 95% of the population has leaky gut syndrome in the first place, that your toxins in your bowels are going to leak into your blood. It's going to get into your brain, your organs, etc. It's going to be a nightmare. Okay. So that's like emergency stuff. To keep things moving and grooving regularly, you need, half your body weight in ounces of water a day. You need to be drinking mineralized water. I love hydrogen infused, but mineralized water. And if you don't have mineralized water, then take some sea salt, put some sea salt in your water a couple times throughout the day. That will mineralize it. Use the Detox Pro Plus. That will mineralize it. Okay. But normally, if your gut is your bacteria is off in your gut, your bowels don't move. Okay. And usually if you don't have enough fiber, because fiber primarily from fruits and vegetables and primarily from like apples and berries and then, leafy greens, those are some of the best kinds of fiber. That fiber is the fertilizer for the good bacteria in your body. So if you don't have enough fiber, you don't have enough bacteria. Okay. You've got to have insoluble fiber in your diet. That is a non-negotiable. Okay. So if you don't eat fruits and vegetables, you got to get yourself a fiber supplement. That's a non-negotiable. Okay. We know that people who have fiber in their diet live longer. I'm a big fan of keto diets, big fan of carnivore diets, but I'm also a big fan of making sure I have enough fiber every day to clean my bowels out and keep things moving. That's just how the machine is made. Okay. And nobody can get through life without having the right amount of fiber. But what we also do when the gut's bad is 2 things. Number 1, digestive enzymes. Okay. So most people over the age of 30 are not producing enzymes in the way and the fashion that they should. Enzymes help digest, break down, and allow your food processes to move through. And if your body's not breaking it down very well, the fecal matter is not going to move very well. So that's one. Another one. And then we use the Master Microbiotics formula, which is a very, very potent probiotic. It's the most potent clinical grade probiotic that we could find. We had to create it because it didn't exist what we needed to. And we're actually already revamping and getting ready to launch another one that's going to be even bigger and better in the next few months. But we still got a couple months of R&D for that. So that's what you do. That's what you do for bowel issues and constipation. Okay. Okay. Couple more questions here. All right. Dennis says, "Hey doc, we have a son in his 40s, beginning this ladder climb, trying to get your information to him." Okay. Go to biolimits.com. All right. Or you can go to Dr. Eric. You go to ericnaputi.com. Those are my websites. Okay. Let's see what else. What other questions you guys have? Hey, Darren, hope you're doing well. Hey, Tracy down in Texas. Hope you guys are good. Okay. So, let's see. Okay. I keep getting this question, you guys. Listen, Wilhelmina and everybody else in the world, I've been saying this for the past couple of years. All right. The Detox Pro Plus. All right. This is like my 6th iteration of detox that I've created. All right. So this is the most powerful detox formula. I made a formula a couple of years ago called Warrior Water. It was great. Whenever I first made it, it was great because we had access to, a couple really good formulas, and we were knocking out flus and colds, and we were preventing sickness, and we were helping people with Crohn's and colitis and all this stuff. And then I wanted to change it and update it. And let's just say that, I wanted to do some things that others in my organization didn't. This was made because of COVID. Okay. So I was able to add some things to this. So this does everything that my Warrior Water, my Detox Water, all my other detox formulas that I made in the past to this day does, and then some. This is why we call it Detox Pro, because it's a professional detox. And plus, what's the plus? The plus is it helps balance hormones. It helps get the signaling back to the cells. It helps deal with parasites. The Warrior Water didn't deal with parasites. If anybody told you Warrior Water fixed parasites, they're lying to you, because it doesn't do that. Like, I've tried the testing on it. It didn't do it. The Warrior Water never had any clinical studies on it. It just was what people saw. And the formula is either changed or something on that because it's different. Okay. So the Warrior Water, the Detox Pro Plus is the bomb. We're using this stuff, man, and I'm telling you, the advances we're getting with this are fan-freaking-tastic, okay? So, Wilhelmina says, the detox water, tell me the time from taking water versus supplements and medication. Is it 2 to 3 hours? Okay, here's what I'm gonna tell you. This has activated charcoal in it. Some doctors will tell you, and most of them are going to tell you incorrectly, that activated charcoal blocks the absorption of other vitamins and minerals. The reason why people say that is because they heard other people say that. They didn't do any testing on their own. Because I'm going to tell you, over the last 12 months plus of us testing Detox Pro Plus with our patients taking medications and taking other supplements, there's not been one iota of poor absorption. Okay. The activated charcoal that's in here has a fulvic and humic acid encapsulation around it. So it protects it so that it does not cause absorption issues. Now, there are some high doses of activated charcoal that if you take like the powdered charcoal by itself, that's going to absorb everything in your gut. That's like what you do if you call the poison control and you swallowed like arsenic or something. That's not what this does. So you can take your medications at the same time. You can take your supplements at the same time, or you can wait. Whatever you want to do. I'm kind of tired of explaining it to people. So you do whatever you want, but I'm telling you, it's not going to affect it negatively. I take this first thing in the morning. You guys know I brush my teeth with this stuff too, right? And I clean my tongue with it. Okay. By the way, just so you guys know, I actually cracked a tooth when I was in Saudi Arabia quite a while ago. And I had a massive infection, all these problems in here. And I wanted to fix this. I wanted to heal the cracks in it. And I used this plus other things. Now it's healed. So now I'm going to put a cap over it because it's finally healed. I don't want to cap something that's got an infection. So I use this for a lot of reasons. By the way, we give this sometimes to our animals. Why? Because it's anti-parasitic and they need minerals. You give minerals to animals and they live longer. That's where mineralization came from. Colloidal minerals, that's what's in here. Colloidal minerals, bioavailable minerals. That was actually brought to the market by Dr. Wallach. Dr. Wallach found that animals lived longer, humans live longer when they have the right amount of minerals. There's 92 essential nutrients the human body has. This is 82 of them. Okay. So the question is, I take the products called advanced digestive enzymes. Listen, as long as they're plant-based enzymes, you're good. Okay. Make sure they're plant-based enzymes with each meal by Thorne. Do you have any suggestions for something better? I'm still having some lump in the throat, raspy voice, heartburn stuff. Yeah. Hey, do this. Try this. Anybody who's got heartburn, reflux, indigestion, or after you eat a meal, if you feel like you got to clear your throat a lot, or if your nose runs a lot after you eat, get some organic baking soda. By the way, all of you should have organic baking soda at home. Not only is it good for cooking with, but it's therapeutic. Okay. And I'm all about DIY. Okay. Let's DIY your health. Okay. I'm an old farm kid. If you can't fix it with duct tape and a screwdriver, it probably can't be fixed. Okay. I'm telling you, baking soda is a game changer. Now, in all seriousness, do this. Wilhelmina. So when you get a chance, go and get a organic baking soda. Get about 4 ounces of water, take a teaspoonful of that baking soda, put it in that water, stir it up and drink it down. Wait 3 minutes. If within 3 minutes you should burp or belch. If you don't burp or belch within 3 minutes, that means you're not producing enough stomach acid. So now we got to go down the road of getting more stomach acid in your body. That's probably what you've got going on. So first of all, I would check to see if you have a plant-based multi-enzyme. By the way, full transparency, very soon, I'm going to be able to give you guys, I got a BioLimitless multi-enzyme. I've been using enzymes for 20 years. We get the best plant-based multi-enzymes. I use multi-enzymes in my practice currently right now. We're in the process of converting that over to a BioLimitless brand. Same thing with vitamin D and K2. Same thing with magnesium and zinc and copper, all the basics that everybody needs every day. You're going to have access to all that. So do the baking soda. If you don't burp, then you probably need something called betaine HCl. Betaine HCl. And you take 1 betaine HCl with each meal as well. And over time, that'll bring your stomach acid up. Another thing that brings your stomach acid up over time is at nighttime, if you'll take about a half a teaspoon of that organic baking soda, stir it up, drink it down, that will also help you raise your stomach acid naturally. There's a lot of other things that you can do, but start with that and let's see if that helps. Okay. Now, a lot of times people get heartburn and reflux because the bacteria in their gut is also off. So that's why we recommend the Master Microbiotics for everybody, because 95% of the global population has a level of dysbiosis and dysbacteriosis, not working like it's supposed to. Okay. So, so give that a try. All right. Great question, by the way. Okay. Yes. Mina, I'll call you Mina from now on. Thank you, Mina. By the way, I appreciate all you guys so much. Hey, Lori, way cool. It's good to see you as well. All right, let's see. What else? Questions. Okay. Katie, good. Oh, Katie says, hey, Doc, for those of you who already did the BioLumis DNA kit, will the BioLumis app life be larger or smaller print? Bigger. Okay. I listened and we made it bigger. All right. And all of you that already took the DNA test before and has the old version of the app, real simple. You literally, I'm going to show you soon. It's a bit of a process. It's not hard, but how to download the new app and how to import your information on there. All you can do is type in your key, your DNA ID, which some of you have, some of you don't have, and we can get it for you if you request it. Okay. So, yeah. So the answer is yes. All right. That's awesome, by the way. This was great. Cheryl, God bless you. I love you, Cheryl. Cheryl says, hey, I'm from Colorado. Went to St. Louis about 3 months ago. I'm off my high blood pressure medication, thyroid meds, high cholesterol meds, and I feel so much better. I lost 11 pounds. I have no inflammation in my lower back and elsewhere. Dr. Naputi's the best. I recommend him 100%. Thank you, Cheryl, for that. Like, I'm so humbled by that. Like, at the end of the day, all I ever want to do is help people. And I just want you to understand why. You know, and I've got a lot of my patients that jump on here because when I'm seeing patients during the day, we're moving and we're grooving. We don't have a whole lot of time to explain the why behind the how. That's why I do these AMAs so that I can go a little deeper with that stuff. And we put all the information on the BioLimitless website, so you guys can dig into that as well. Let's see. Okay, Teresa. Hey, Miss Teresa. Teresa says, hey, I suspect I have leaky gut and I want to know how I can fix it. I take the Detox Pro Plus. Could constipation also be a factor with leaky gut? Yes, because it's toxins. So you probably have leaky gut because if you have constipation, you have leaky gut. Listen, if you have any type of GI problem, heartburn, gas, bloating, distension, diarrhea, constipation, upset stomach, like, you know, that Pepto-Bismol commercial, that's a leaky gut commercial. Okay. And Pepto-Bismol doesn't fix a darn thing. It's the number one over-the-counter bought medication, by the way, or whatever you want to call it, but it doesn't fix the problem. So first of all, here's a good way to test to see how bad your leaky gut is. You can do a blood test. The blood test is called zonulin, and that zonulin blood test, which soon I'll be able to give you from our biolumis.com site, you'll be able to prick your finger, put your little blood on a postcard, mail it back to us, and we can tell you if you have zonulin or not. Or you can do it yourself. So do this, okay, Teresa. First thing in the morning, before you eat anything, brush your teeth, before you drink anything, I want you to get some a cup of water. Just get a glass of water, okay, regular glass, and then I want you to fill it up to the top with water. By the way, there's videos on this on BioLimitless. And then what I want you to do is I want you to spit in it, just saliva, not a goober, none of that stuff. Just spit in it. Okay. And let it sit for 15 minutes. If you look at the glass, healthy spit and saliva should stay at the top. If you have leaky gut or dysbiosis, you're going to see the spit start to streak or sink to the bottom. Within 15 minutes, they'll do that. That's a sign of leaky gut. That's also a good measuring point. So you can take a picture of it and then you can measure, do the treatments that I'm going to share with you and then retest it in a couple weeks. So here's the protocol for leaky gut. Number one, I'm going to tell you how to fix it. It's up to you to do it or not, right? Here you go. Number one, no gluten, no dairy, totally out. Gluten, dairy out. Pull it out of your system. At least 6 weeks, pull it out. High keto, high carnivore diet, lots of protein. I want to minimize a lot of the irritants. Fluids, water, green teas, no juice, no dairy, none of that stuff. You can have coffee, but please don't put any creamer in it. Like if you're trying to heal yourself, you know, when people say, well, can I? No, you can't. You can, but you can't get mad at your body because it's not healed. If you want to heal it, let's heal it. And then you can, right? Like you can't do both. Okay. So you do whatever you want to do, but I'm telling you what you should do. Number one, restrictions. Okay. Restrictions on food and water. If you're taking any antibiotics, wait till you're done taking the antibiotics to try to fix the leaky gut because it's not going to happen. And by the way, if you're taking antibiotics, double up on your master microbiotics. Don't not take them. I hear some of these idiotic doctors and people saying, well, I'm taking an antibiotic, so if I take a probiotic, it's just going to neutralize it. No, it's not. Okay. You need as much good bacteria as possible because your antibiotics killing everything, including the good bacteria. And guess what's more resistant and grows back faster? The bad bacteria does. So you better be feeding yourself with good, healthy foods, good prebiotics, so lots of fiber, and then lots of water, and then your master microbiotics. All right. So here's what you're doing. Do your master microbiotics formula, 2 pills a day. Get a plant-based multi-enzyme that has amylase, lipase, and protease in it. Take 2 of those with each of your meals. Okay. Then what I want you to do is go get something called, we talked about earlier, betaine HCl. Betaine HCl. Start taking 1 or 2 of those with each of your meals, especially the high protein meals, which should be every meal. Okay. Teresa, try to start getting, as a female, you should do your best to get 110 to 125 grams of protein every day in your diet. Guys, 150 to 165 grams a day is kind of the wheelhouse for us. Okay. There's a better calculation for that, but that's where you should be. Teresa, go get some magnesium, glycinate. Start taking about 500 milligrams a day. I don't care if you do it in the morning or at night, but magnesium is essential for digestion. Okay. Start getting some organic sea salt in your diet. Your stomach needs it needs HCl. It needs sodium and chloride to make hydrochloric acid. Okay. So start taking a pinch of sea salt 2 or 3 times a day with your meals, and start eating a lot of ghee butter. Okay. Ghee butter. Ghee butter is like, healthy butters, grass-fed butters. Okay. Good oils. All right. That will help heal and seal the gut. And use the Detox Pro Plus. I think you said you're already using it. So do this. Do 2 droppers in the morning and 2 droppers in the evening to expedite the healing, and it pulls the toxins out. Listen, if you'll do that, that'll speed up the process. Now, there's one missing piece of the puzzle. Remember I told you that when your body's under stress, the first thing that happens is your voltage goes down. There's a reason why I make the cell signal formula like the keystone and cornerstone of everything, because it turns up the voltage on so many pathways. So your body needs signaling so it can heal. Like, it's getting all the protein, it's getting the probiotics, it's getting the minerals, it's getting the toxics pulled out, but like, it needs signals to grab that stuff and put it to play. That's what the enzymes do. And that's also what the cell signal formula does. So for all my patients that have leaky gut, I say, listen, the next 6 weeks minimum, because I go 6 weeks and then test, but really it's going to take probably 90 days to really start healing and sealing that gut. And it may take you up to 6 months, because once your bacteria is destroyed in your gut, it's not like flipping a switch turns it back on. It's like replanting a forest. It's slow. So I use the cell signal, I use the Detox Pro Plus, and I use the Master Microbiotics formula. And we put people on plant-based multi-enzymes. That's kind of the core 4 of that. Sometimes I'll do a little bit more because I've tested them, but that's where you start. So Teresa, do that. And man, just get solid on it for 90 days. And let's see what happens. Because man, 90 days from now, like the beginning of the first of the year, you could be like a whole completely new person. And by the way, we are not waiting until New Year's to do New Year's resolutions. You're going to be hearing me talk about No Excuses November, which I just want to turn into No Excuses Anymore, period. I'm so tired of people's excuses. Pardon my French, but my mom, God rest her soul, used to tell me that excuses are like assholes. Everybody's got them and they all smell like, you know what. So let's just do it. Let's stop making excuses about stuff. So, okay, perfect. Very, very good, Teresa. Hope that helps. All right, let me answer another question here. Okay, this is one. Okay, Patty, love you, girl. Patty from Illinois says, these prices are outrageous. The only reason why she says that is because she wants to do it and either doesn't see the value or maybe there's a financial issue. I get it. Like, I get it. And she says, especially these peptides. Holy cow. I don't know if you know this. And I'm going to be really, really transparent with you. There's a reason why you're only going to see 5, 6, maybe a dozen products in the BioLimitless line, because like this formula right here alone, number one, 99.9% pure. All of my formulas are third-party tested, COAs on everything. It's the purest of the purest there is. I build my business off of results. This is Missouri. It's the Show Me State. People come from all over the world to see us because what we do works. If you put into play what we tell you to do, it's going to work for you. If you don't, it's not going to. And a lot of times people, Patty, will say, hey, Doc, can you give me a guarantee, money back guarantee? I don't want to give you a guarantee that our products don't work. You're the guarantee. I guarantee if you put it to play and you give your body the 90 days it needs to really do some changes, guess what? You're going to heal. Now let's talk a little bit about like this formula. This formula replaces 5 products that I used to have to give patients. I used to have give people something for their thyroid, their methylation, their adrenals, their cell voltage, and detox all in one. That's here, all in one freaking formula. Okay. It's good for adults and for kids. This Detox Pro Plus formula, there is nothing like this on the market. In fact, my wife the other day went out and went to the supplement store where most people buy their products here. And she went and she got all of the detox products. She bought like 5 or 6 different products. One had fulvic acid, one had fulvic and humic acid, one had zeolites in it, one had zeolites and fulvic acid, one had Shilajit, but nobody had it together. You want to know why? Because no one's figured out how to put it all together and put it in one deliverable jar. That's why, and by the way, there's no emulsifiers, no fillers. Like we spent hundreds of thousands of dollars just figuring this one out. Millions of dollars on the DNA and the correlation with cell signal, literally. Okay. So by the way, this one, if you let it sit like this in your drawer for a while, or if it's delivered on its side like this, because there's Shilajit in here, and that's literally that's rock. Okay. It's volcanic rock plus zeolites, volcanic rock, plus activated charcoal, coconut, all that can mix together. If it gets in this little rubber stopper, it can get plugged up. So what you first supposed to do is shake the heck out of this booger. So because it's stabilized, it's suspended. Okay. It's not emulsified. So there's no fake stuff in here. That's not cheap. Plus this is legit ceramic. Okay. So by the way, if it does get plugged, get some hot water, run this under hot water for a while, or boil some hot water, put it in hot water for like a minute. This is going to get hot, but then sit it up like this and just kind of pump it a few times. And the rocks that are kind of congealed in there will come out. Still good to take. Okay. It's amazing for you. You can even just open it up and take your 2 milliliters from that. So keep it simple. Okay. Now, Patty, peptides. Let's talk about peptides. Let's talk about real peptides. I'm not talking about this plant-based peptides, this extract stuff that people are selling and calling it real peptides. That's not a peptide. I'm talking about legitimate sequences of amino acid peptides that functional medicine doctors use, like me, that literally we can positively influence the coding of your body to get the cellular expression that we were talking about. And let me tell you something, that is not cheap. Like that cost me a lot of money to make. You guys know that if you went, like, for example, let me show you this. This Neuro Reboot formula has several peptides and some peptide-like compounds in it. So BPC 157, if you went and bought that, a month's supply of that by itself, that's $120 by itself. If you go and you buy Dihexa, which is a peptide-like formula that causes the brain to rewire and refire, helps with all kinds of problems, and you go watch the videos on it, your mind will be blown. That's $200 to $300 a month by itself. If you go and get tesofensin, which is a natural SSRI balancer, helps your brain, your mood, helps people get off depressant meds, helps you feel like engaged and like protects your brain because it produces BDNF. That by itself is $200. So if you went out and priced all the peptides that are in here, and you went to a doctor and purchased this, it'd be like $600. Okay. Right now, I get it. Right now, we've got this. It's about $320 for this. It's a steal. It's not for everybody. Okay. But it works. It's amazing. And people that use it understand it. I'm not giving you cheap stuff because I don't want to give you a money back guarantee of crap. Now I'm going to have some very low dollar stuff. Like we're going to have our vitamin D and our zinc and all you can participate in that. But like our master stack, it's like $880. It's real deal stuff. It turns your brain back on. It turns your metabolism back on. It opens up the pathways. It detoxes your body. It gets the microbiome back up. Like this is exactly what we talked about. The causes of disease are low voltage, toxemia, and dysbiosis. This solves those problems. I wish everything was, I don't know if I wish it was free, but like I get where you're coming from. And I had somebody say to me today earlier, they're like, hey, you know what? My insurance said it would pay for my DNA test. Will it pay for yours? No, it won't. Because your DNA test is a medical DNA test that the hospital looks at that's looking to see what kind of drugs they can prescribe. I am looking at nutrigenomics, looking at lifestyle, it's, oh my gosh, it's so much more powerful. So anyway, Patty, love you. Love you. By the way, we just ran a huge promo last month, and we're getting ready to do something that's like, just pay attention to what I want to say over the next few days, because we're about to do something that's just crazy. Because I'm telling you right now, all I need to do is get these formulas and this common sense technology into your hands. And when you use it, your life has changed. And you don't have to waste all your doggone money on other stuff that's out there. Like, that's the thing. I have a lot of patients that come in with grocery sacks. They're spending hundreds of dollars on stuff that's causing them not to get better and be sick. It's talking about investing in your health versus lighting your money on fire. Okay. So, yes. All right. Jennifer. Okay. Jennifer says, hey, post-concussion syndrome here, but spending $320 is scary as hell. Man, think about investing versus spending. Like, I get it. I do totally get it. And I'm trying to do everything I can to make these as affordable as possible for people. Let me tell you this. You guys remember back in like the late 90s, early 2000s when cell phones first came out? I guess it was mid to late 90s. And you have those giant bag phones, and you had to make a phone call like this. And it was like $4 billion to make a call because the technology was just not that good and it was expensive. But as things gone on, then we get these phones. They're still expensive. They're still thousands of dollars, but the calls are next to nothing. Okay. So as technology improves and manufacturing increases, cost will go down. And when that cost goes down for me, that cost will go down for you. Because trust me, those of you that know me know that if I was in this business to make a lot of money and not to just help people, and I believe you can do both, I'd still be slinging some old products that I created years ago. I would have sold masks and gloves during COVID, not stood up against the craziness. I would just tell you, here, buy this Vita Vegamin, and I don't care what, but I'm not doing that. But I am going to give you some really amazing opportunities because, and by the way, Jennifer, I'm going to tell you, stay tuned because we're getting ready to put a deal together on the Master Stack that I'm telling you, every man, woman, and child should invest in. And I can't do a money back guarantee for several reasons. Number one, because I feel like if I give you a money back guarantee, then I don't believe in my formulas and products. And that may sound counterproductive, but like, people come from all over the world, pay me tens of thousands of dollars to help them get well. You can invest in yourself. You can. Trust me, and it's worth it. But I'm going to give you some opportunities coming up soon. I promise. Okay? I promise. Okay, great question, Jennifer. By the way, I don't know if you know this. I helped write when the NFL did the concussion protocol update 2014-15. I was one of the doctors that helped write that. So I'm super knowledgeable about post-concussion stuff. And the curvature in your neck, super important. The drainage of the spinal fluid, so important. And there's so many other things that are just so freaking important for you. So I hope that makes sense. Okay. Okay, you guys, I'm going to answer one more because I got to get going. Listen, I've been since 5 a.m. this morning. I've been gone seeing patients or whatever time, 6 o'clock this morning, hospital, office, boom, here now. And I want to go see my wife and kids before it's bedtime. Okay. Joe asked me if I talk about BPPV. I'll talk about that. I promise I'll do a video on it, but I promised this woman I would answer this question. And here's the question. Diana says, hey doc, I recently was diagnosed with lymphoma. What are your suggestions? Okay. Here it is. Please do this. So at biolimitless.com, we have something for free. It's called the 45 Easy Reset. Okay. By the way, it's free. You don't have to like buy the books or any of that stuff, but like I have a 45 Easy Reset book. Okay. That you can learn out of. It's literally like a manual. You can print it out for free on the website. It's literally 7 simple daily steps over 45 days. So I don't care what disease process or symptoms you've got. Like I start everybody on that 45 protocol. And there's several different tracks you can take. You can either just do a whole metabolic and hormonal reset, which is simple and easy and everybody does and can do all the time. And that can be your new lifestyle. Or you can do a fat loss program with it, or you can do a muscle building program with it. Like it's the same program. You guys should see my 20-year-old son. It's ridiculous. Like I won't even let him walk around the house with his shirt off anymore. The kid's so jacked because he's doing what we're talking about. And then fat is melting off of people because we're using the common sense protocols. But here's the other thing with lymphoma. We got to get your cells to re-signal. Okay. We've got to get your body to detoxify. We've got to get your lymph to move. And we can do that by using the Master Stack. Okay. So Diane, here's what I'm doing. Every week in the month of November, I'm going to give away a Master Stack to somebody, and I'm giving one to you. So my team's going to reach out to you. I just talked to you today, but my team's going to reach out to you, and I'm going to send you a master stack. But here's what I want you to do. I'm sending you a 3-month supply. I want you to chart your progress. Like, you got to be all in on this. Okay. You got to be all in. I want like before pictures. I want you to write like how you feel, what's going on. And then I want you to journal your process and video it, and just, it's for you, right? It's for you. You don't have to share it with me, but at the end of that 90 days, if you feel compelled to do so, I want you to share it with me, because I believe your life can be changed and changed forever, because I've seen it happen many, many times before. This is a repeatable method. This is not a miracle. This is not magic. It's not something that works for someone and not others. This is how physiology in the body works. So I'm hooking you up with that master stack. And every week we're going to do the same for people all across the globe. So I want to give you guys a master stack. So how do you get it? You like, share, and subscribe. You comment, you ask questions, you engage with us on social media, you share our posts, you ask questions and we'll answer. I'll give some to you guys. Because look, at the end of the day, all I want to see is people get better. Because I promise you, we get this information in people's hands. Remember, knowledge is power, and without knowledge, our people will perish. We get this information and this technology in people's hands, lives will be changed and changed forever. So I need your help to do that. So first of all, I'm going to hook you up with that, and we're going to walk you through some other things you can do. But start with that 45 easy reset, and let me get you that master stack. That's what I start a lot of my patients that are dealing with serious degenerative issues like you are. And then we work on just bringing them back. It's going to take about 12 to 14 months to really get you to where you want to be. But you're going to have some noticeable change within the first couple of weeks. And you're going to have some massive change within the first 90 days. So that's what we're going to do. Guys, first of all, thank you guys so much for being with me tonight. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this. How many of you know people who should have been here tonight? Okay. How many of you know people? By Joe, this will be on social media. You can share this. Okay. You guys can share this right now. You can share this. Okay. You can tag people. You go to our social media page. It's going to be there all the time. You can reshare. You can do all the things. Okay. Because I'm telling you, we need more people less sick. We have common sense solutions to common problems, and we are a community. We together are BioLimitless. This ain't about me. This is about the collective we. So guys, remember, knowledge is power, but wisdom is taking that knowledge and applying it to your life. And guys, until we meet again, I'm Dr. Eric Naputi. God bless you. God bless America. And God bless this beautiful, beautiful world. Have an amazing day. And remember, I'm going to be live Friday morning, 8 a.m. Central Time, Wednesday evening, 7 p.m. Central Time. Have an amazing day and be well, because you are. Thanks, guys. Take care.